And welcome to our debate. Today we will be discussing placing a smoking ban in public places. I will be arguing the pro side that we should put a ban on smoking in public places, and Julia will be arguing that there should not be a smoking ban, that everything should remain as is. So I think that smoking should be banned in public places. According to the World Health Organization, more than 6 million people die every year from smoking cigarettes. And a ban needs to be put across the nation in order to protect non-smokers and children who are exposed to secondhand smoke, and also encourage smokers who want to quit once and for all. I think that this is a reasonable demand, because other nations have successfully installed smoking bans in public, and by doing that, they have decreased the number of hospitalizations and tobacco consumption. So, my first point is that secondhand smoke has too many health risks. The World Health Organization has stated that the smoke contains nearly 4,000 chemicals, 50 of which are known to cause cancer. And the air is not as pure as we think. We may try to ventilate it and clean it out, but according to the article, Vital Signs, Disparities in Non-Smokers' Exposure to Secondhand Smoke, the air is not as pure as we think. Secondhand smoke has also been proven to correlate with the number of heart attacks. That is according to an article in the European Journal of Public Health. And also, children are extremely sensitive to their environments. As their immune system and health are developing, they are sensitive to the surrounding air. And if they are exposed to secondhand smoke and other types of air pollution, then that can potentially kill them. Air pollution is known to be the greatest risk to health of children under the age of 5, according to the World Health Organization. Nearly 570,000 die from respiratory diseases every year. And according to the article, 10 Facts on Children's Environmental Health, more than 1 in 5 child deaths can be prevented by taking better care of their surrounding air. Now, by placing a ban, my second point thinks that a ban would help encourage smokers to quit. That is, according to the World Health Organization, smokers need help with quitting. So a ban combined with educational campaigns can help them wean off of smoking. And we could provide counseling services for smokers who want to quit in order to inform people about the dangers of tobacco. And my third point is that smoking bans have been successful across the globe in reducing the health risks associated with smoking and secondhand smoke. In China, they placed a public ban on smoking combined with educational campaigns. They actually managed to decrease the number of hospitalizations and the number of tobacco consumption. And this ban was able to affect both smokers and non-smokers. So the health of non-smokers improved, as well as the health of people who already smoke. In addition, Switzerland was able to reduce the number of heart attack hospitalizations related to smoking and secondhand smoke. That was according to the article Reduction of ST Elevation Myocardial Infarction in Canton Ticino. So yeah, as you can see, a smoking ban will be beneficial to the overall public if here in America we placed a ban nationwide on smoking in public. And people here know that tobacco is dangerous. In a study where they surveyed Texas college students, students were able to recognize the dangers of smoking, and they pretty much all agreed that smoking should be banned almost everywhere on campus. However, although a ban is not popular among non-smokers, most smokers believe that there should be somewhere on campus where they can smoke in private. And I think that if a ban is placed, then over time this ban will eventually become a social norm because, as it's happened in the past, a law can become more normal as time passes on, and people will be more ready to accept it. That is according to the article Health Benefits Supported by Social Cognitive Change. So that is my argument. I will pass it on to Julia.
Okay, so actually as of January 2014, 28 states have already enacted this ban on smoking in all enclosed public places, including restaurants and bars. California actually being one of the first to do this. Congress is actually now thinking of making this ban nationwide. But I agree. I think that it should be that the states and the cities should make the choice whether to have this ban or not. According to an article called The Overview List, How Many Smoke-Free Laws Written by American Non-Smokers Rights Foundation, published January 2014, actually already 82% of the U.S. already lives under a smoking ban in workplaces and or restaurants and or bars by a city or state law. Congress should not make this policy nationwide because it would take more people's rights away, affect businesses, it struggles to blame who is at fault, and it has not been proven effective so far. For my first point, people should have the freedom to choose whether or not to smoke. Many of us already know the dangers of smoking, whether that be through the internet or TV, or through the TV, which I've definitely seen many ads about not smoking, and so people should have the choice whether or not to smoke. Under the Ninth Amendment, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be conserved or denied or disparaged once retained by the people. So the people already have the right to smoke in some areas, and it's already been taken away from certain states and cities, so if it's nationwide, more people have these rights taken away under the Constitution. Also, people have the choice whether or not to smoke in certain areas. So people who don't smoke don't have to go near designated areas already established for people that smoke. Along with this, as reported by an article by Nancy Rigotti and Chris Passos, published December 1991 from JamNetwork.com, they found that laws were created in larger cities and states with fewer adult smokers. This would make sense because the larger cities will have more people close together, so that's taking away most secondhand smoking already. And the fewer states that they have these laws in also makes sense because it appeals to the citizens. They have these laws in these areas because people already don't smoke, so the areas that do have more smokers don't take that right away from them. For my second point, the ban would affect more businesses than it already has. Mentioned by Michael L. Marlowe, an economics professor at Cal Poly, in his article titled The Economic Losers from the Smoking Ban, data suggest the economic harm on some bars and restaurants. So if people can't go to these bars to smoke, which is most of the reason people go so far, they won't be able to go because of the smoking ban, and many of the people will lose businesses or lose employees, have to leave employees because of this ban. As well, the restaurants have already gone out of business. This already has been proven, especially they've had already this ban in places like Ireland, so the pubs there, many of them have gone out of business already. So looking at that, could happen in the U.S. as well. For my third point, a big question that comes along with this ban is knowing who is to be punished if this law is broken, the bar or the smoker. As reported by Greg Lamont from CNN, published in 1998, bar owners only have to put up non-smoking signs and make a reasonable effort to tell smokers they're not allowed to smoke. So if people are smoking in their bar, they don't have to actually tell them to leave, they just have to make an effort. And so this leaves a big question on if somebody does report this, who is to be blamed, the smoker or the bar? Especially with the fine. According to U.S. Legal in the article Smoking Regulations in California, a first fine can be up to $100, and when fined a third time, it can get up to $400. So many people will definitely take this fine to court because it's a lot of money for smoking, and so many of the judges have to choose whether or not to give the fine to the bar or the smokers, so that definitely is like a big question that comes along with this ban if it is made nationwide. For my fourth point, The smoking ban has not been proven effective so far in states and cities that already have it, so making it nationwide would not help very much either. A big question that comes along with this is who's going to monitor this ban. Mentioned by the Daily Mail, February 2014, the ban in Central Park will not be enforced by police officers, but instead public park officials and the public. So obviously the police officers have more pressing matters to attend to, like capturing criminals or making sure everybody's safe. So they definitely will not be involved a lot in reporting smoking bans. And so this leaves it up to the public and the park officials, which is a big question because, as in this picture, this is a park official in New York who's smoking, so they could like turn a blind eye to other smokers because that's what they like to do as well, which is another big thing for the public reporting it. Also, Central Park is huge, so it's not possible to report everybody there, which is another thing that is possible with Nationwide. I don't think it's able to report everybody. So as Aitana said in her argument, as you previously stated, the effects of secondhand smoking have been found. Research done by the CDC proving that secondhand smoking from burning tobacco products causes disease and premature death among non-smokers. But I think that if they make it nationwide, so more people will have to smoke in their homes, which leaves children who are at home unable to take themselves away from the situation, especially if they're too young. But if have designated areas in public places, then people can go do it, and then other people who don't want their kids or don't want to be near smoking can take themselves out of the situation. Along with this, many of the smoking that has decreased so far hasn't been from the ban, but has been from other products like vaping now that isn't with tobacco, and e-cigs that don't have tobacco in it.
To rebut Julia's argument that it won't be easy to find someone to blame outside in the public, once you're actually outside in public parks and at beaches, it would be easier to put blame on the smoker. So the beach or the park would not be responsible for the smoker smoking in public. And if we are able to punish and find consequences for the smokers who are smoking in public places, then we could decrease the amount of smoke in areas where children are present, and in that way we can increase their health and protect them as well as protect the health of adult non-smokers. To conclude, despite that this nation has had numerous improvements in the amount of smokers and the amount of secondhand smoke, there's still a lot of work to be done. There can be a ban with a nationwide ban, we can stop the influence of secondhand smoke on children and their health, as well as protect future generations and help non-smokers quit. And if other countries can do it, why can't we?
So in conclusion, states and cities should choose whether or not to have this ban for smoking in public places. It should not be made nationwide. This policy, if passed nationwide, violates people's freedom to choice, affects many businesses, is not clear on who to blame, and when the law is broken, and is not very effective. So before this ban is made nationwide, it definitely needs to be clear more on who's going to be to blame and how it's going to be more effective.